And then he he went and told security.
Mate, right.
Oh, didn't even speak to me.
I'm allowed to speak to you. I'm allowed to speak to you. Pardon? What are you doing here, that's all?
Let's take pictures.
Come speak to you.
No, what are you doing here? Why are you here?
I'll come speak to you.
No, why are you here today?
For the King's coronation.
Yeah, but what are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? Working.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. There's no need to be rude.
I'm not being rude.
You are being rude. I come over here. The first thing you said to me was, "Don't you even
London
dare."
people are strange, aren't
You said, "Don't you even dare." That's the first thing you said.
Exactly.
Did you? I thought you. Did you not call him an asshole?
Conversation with you.
Did you not call him an asshole? Did you call him an asshole?
I didn't. No.
It sounded like that.
But my camera's on.
Oh, sorry. If you didn't.
Switch it on when you got it. And you haven't even told me yet.
I don't need to tell you.
Yes, you did.
No, I don't.
Yes, you did.
You did.
5.1, 5.5.
You know, we know.
I'm trying to come out here and have a conversation.
To help you.
No, I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and because it's been raised to us that you're out here taking photos of people threatening to go to the toilet on the wall, they put up things like that. It will be, yeah. If you go to the toilet on it, yeah.
Threatening criminal. If I shoot him in the head, that'll be a crime as well, won't
Yeah,
it?
it will, yeah.
Well, I've not done it.
Okay, but you're still threatening it, aren't you? So
What, threatening to have a pee against a wall?
part of our job is prevention of crime, isn't it?
Threats of criminal damage?
Part of our job is prevention of crime, isn't it?
What? Criminal damage being on a wall?
Yeah.
Peeing on the wall is criminal damage.
Is it, heck?
You're
Serious?
Criminal.
It's not criminal damage.
You're tarnishing us all with the same.
Is it not a public order offence?
Who do you want?
It's not criminal damage. Surely?
Shite name.
Seriously? I didn't know that.
Why are you being so angry?
How many of them have been raping and murdering and all sorts of things, yeah? Lately.
Okay.
How many? You're not interested now?
I'm trying to have a conversation with you. That's got nothing to do with what we're here talking to you.
It's a shame.
Okay.
We're met, police.
Okay. Continue swearing, sir. You'll be committing a public order offence.
No,
alright?
no.
You need a member.
Pull that one, boy.
Who's going to make the argument?
You go and learn some law before you come dictating to me, okay?
Okay. I've been through training school, my friends.
Yeah, but it's
The auditor starts off strong by immediately asking the officers for their badge numbers and names. It might seem like a minor move, but it instantly changes the power dynamic. Usually it's the police who ask for information, not the other way around. By demanding accountability right from the start, the auditor sets the tone that this encounter won't be one-sided. This approach shows both the officers and the viewers that he understands his rights and isn't afraid to assert them.
Wrong training school, boy.
The Met Police training school.
Sir, why are you being
talking to me?
Why are you being quite aggressive?
No, he's not being aggressive. We're just being because we
Sorry, mate.
Well, we're
He's
just
being
having a
aggressive.
conversation.
No, he isn't.
I'm trying to have a
He's
conversation.
not being aggressive, sir.
To you.
Reacting to me. How
I'm reacting to
how
your
have I
behaviour.
provoked you in any way to
I've
speak like this?
reacted to their behaviour.
How have I provoked you in any way to speak to us like this?
They're treating us like criminals on a public street.
We've been asked to come out here, you were taking photos of them and buildings and all that sort of stuff, and they asked you why, and then it's all of us.
I don't know. If you
They just
approached me
asked us
and
to
were
come out
concerned
and
about
ask you
someone,
Yeah.
what's
would you
going
want
on,
to go and talk
why are you taking photos of them, that sort of
you
stuff.
threatened
Okay,
them.
they've asked you
Well,
to move on, you threatened to piss up walls.
I haven't.
criminal damage, isn't it?
I don't know. I didn't hear that conversation.
Yeah, but that's why we're out here, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
We're not trying to cause any arguments or anything like that. We're just
It's not
asking what's
resolved.
going on.
Why is it not?
That's it.
Why is it not?
Because you
Well, like I say, there's not. End of the day, I don't know what the problem is.
It's going in and out of this hotel. I'm
You know.
not stopping it. It's not bollocks. So
How long was I stood down there?
I don't know.
Right.
They've raised their concern. You're stood down there trying to take photos of members of the public, and calling harassment alarms.
Trying to take members.
What for photos in the public?
That's what they've said to us.
Yeah, but you know that you should have put him right on that.
Which is part of the reason we're here trying to talk to you.
Yeah, but you should have put him right on that. I'm not being aggressive with you, sir.
Okay. Well.
Right, so you come with me then, and you go tell them.
You're not going anywhere close.
A member of the public is allowed to be on this road, and a member of the public.
Okay, this is a sterile area, and they're trying to keep
A
sterile.
member of the public is allowed to take photographs on this.
They're trying to keep this area sterile. Okay. Yes, they are. They've
Well, why
explained
didn't
it
they
to us.
approach me when I first arrived?
They have approached you.
15 minutes later.
Okay, because you weren't
I've been-
moving on.
I've been
Because you weren't moving on. People are
You're
allowed
being
to walk-
rude now.
pe-
You're being
people-
rude.
People are allowed to walk
Let
through.
me speak.
People are allowed to walk through.
God.
There you go.
Just tell your business where I'm going.
Okay, I'm asking you to move on.
This is the moment where intimidation starts to show. The officer brings up the Counterterrorism Act as if it's a powerful tool that can override basic rights. But when he's asked directly whether the man is actually suspected of terrorism, there's no response. And that silence says everything. Without genuine suspicion, the law doesn't even apply in this situation. What's really happening here is an attempt at authority bluffing, using intimidating language in hopes that an ordinary person would back down out of fear.
It's a sterile area.
No, it's not.
It is. They're keeping this path free.
Are you his superior?
No.
Well, why are you standing allowing him to tell lies?
Not lying.
We
not lying though, is it? If he was lying, I'd step in.
No, but it's a public footpath. We haven't brought barriers or anything like that.
Just shut up
Yeah,
unless it's
but-
1 minute.
Don't be
all right?
rude.
This
You're
right
being
here is
rude.
obviously where the King's coronation parade and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously, we've got concerns about people trying to interrupt the coronation.
No, well, we're not here to do that. I promise you that, miss. Yeah, we're here just to take photos and videos, right?
Exactly.
So basically, where you put the green fences, you don't want us beyond that. I get that, yeah?
Right. And these guys don't want you taking photos of them. This is a high-profile hotel, a high-profile personnel have been staying in.
Yeah,
They're trying to keep this as sterile as possible because there's high-profile people staying in this hotel.
No, miss, what I'm saying is, like,
So they
Well,
don't
not
want
according
you
to them.
here-
I've been stood talking to the guys on the
here
step for
taking
15
photos
minutes.
and being argumentative
Having a
with them.
good
That's all they're
laugh.
asking.
Right.
That you move away from this area.
Listen,
That's it.
are you gonna
miss,
listen?
all I'm saying is, like, end of the day, wherever I went with my camera and filming, yeah, with this,
You just want to dictate.
basically, there was no complaint that I was taking pictures of anybody. But basically, what the police should do in that instance is say, look, he's in a public space.
Don't act like
There's no law against taking photography in a public space against any individual. We can be recorded like we are. I'm being recorded as we speak off numerous cameras, and I'm not complaining against that. So I would expect police in that instance just to say, look, he's not, if he ain't committing no crimes, just leave him be.
But they've asked us to come and have a chat because he's been asked to move away and he's become agitated and aggressive and whatnot. I wasn't there, so I haven't witnessed it. You know what I mean? That's what we've been told.
I didn't witness that, but I would be agitated if I would be asked to move from a public space.
And allow someone to be
But you
Do
can
you get what I'm
appreciate
saying?
that there's a high-profile hotel. If he stood here taking photos of all of him, all they've asked him is, why are you taking photos of all here?
Yeah.
And he's
This is the point where the auditor firmly brings the real law back into focus. No crime means no requirement to show ID. It's that straightforward. He doesn't raise his voice or use harsh language. He simply repeats the facts until they sink in. That calm and steady confidence highlights the weakness in the officer's demand. They may want compliance, but in this situation, the law doesn't give them that authority.
that raises our suspicion that he's trying to do something
Yeah,
untoward.
because you know the amount of times we've been approached this morning taking pictures, security personnel, and it's like we're getting sick of it, miss.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that because you
Yeah.
are entitled to, but if they've asked you not to,
Yeah.
and you carry on, they've asked you not to. If I kept taking photos of you while you're at work...
No, but that weren't the argument. So basically, right, he was taking pictures, this is what he told me, of the building, and they asked him not to do that. So therefore, they have no right to tell him to stop taking pictures at the building, right? So if the police come over, I expect you to perhaps just say, well, look, just you carry on with your day. He can take pictures of the building.
All we've done, as soon as he come up, he said, "Come here, tried to have a chat with him." He's gone, "Don't you fucking dare," or whatever he said. "Don't you dare!" I didn't hear it. Right? And it was acting like this. That raises our suspicion that he's up to something untoward. Yeah, I hope you can. Appreciate
No,
that,
not
yeah?
untowards. I'll explain for him. He's angry because basically we're sick of getting challenged. We've only been out for an hour and a half, and everybody
Not
keeps
being
telling
fun-
us.
I'm not being funny, sir. During a high-profile incident like
Yeah.
this, a high-profile thing where there's a lot of members of other states around,
Yeah.
members of other states, yeah? You can appreciate, if you're taking lots of photos of security and all that sort of stuff, it's going to raise our suspicions that you're trying to do something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you are.
So you've had a
but if you're
talk.
stood here taking photos of here,
Yeah,
what benefit have you got of taking a photo of this?
because
Why?
I'll answer that. Although I don't have to.
Yeah.
I will answer it for you. I'm a visitor to London, so therefore I want to get as much footage of the whole event that I can, right? For no ill intent purposes. So, you know, I'm just explaining on a lighter note to you that I'm not here to cause you problems. What I do want my rights to be upheld is to do that in a publicly accessible place.
But you are going to get challenged. On a day like today, you are going to get challenged as to what you're doing and why.
But could you not circulate it? Can you not? Oh, what? That's the thing. So
Now the situation flips completely. Suddenly, an officer asks the auditor to delete his footage. Just think about that for a second. Public officials in uniform while on duty requesting that evidence be erased. This clearly reveals their real worry isn't about public safety. It's about accountability. Cameras record the truth, and the truth is exactly what they don't want preserved on record.
Every post you go to, you're going to be facing security.
We
They're going to ask you.
I can guarantee you one thing: we will definitely not breach any fences or try and do anything like that. You know what I mean?
We don't know that.
I'm telling you.
Until you come up to us and have a conversation like we are, we don't know that, do we?
Well, that's my word. I'm here just to film.
But if you're stood here just taking a photo of them,
Yeah.
they've got the right to challenge you as to what's going on.
They can ask it all they want. Yeah, I get that.
And you can say, I'm going to take photos in a private place. They
Public
ask you
place.
to move on. Take it that they're asking you to move on for a reason. You know, they're trying to keep this area as sterile as possible. At the end of the day, half a mile in that direction, or where those buildings are, is where the new king is going to be going to.
Yeah, and that's why you've set your barriers. That's why you've set your barriers here, and you don't want us going beyond the barriers.
So you can record, you can take photos in a public place. There's no problem.
Yeah.
Right? But if they ask you to move on, then I suggest that you just move on quietly. It is.
Well,
No benefit of taking a photo of here.
No, you don't know that though, miss.
But if you've taken a photo of here, you've taken some recording, nothing's going to change. I mean, it's going to stay like this now. For
No, but that's why I'm saying I've got my footage now, and we're only having a talk due to a conversation that you've come over. So basically, I'm happy that I've already got my footage of here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I would also like the personnel to know that if we wanted to stay on the street that's open to public, we can do it also. You know, even though I'm finished, it'd be good for the security personnel to know that as long as we're not trying to breach anything or get in anybody's way.
But you can understand why they're very heightened.
I understand,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why I've gone the extra mile to try and speak to you and say, look,
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm not here to cause you any hostility. I'm not here to cause you any security breaches or anything like that. And I'm literally here with cameras.
No, that's
you know.
fine. And I appreciate that. Just obviously, we're obviously been asked to do a job to protect everyone here today.
Yeah, totally get that.
Here, the mask finally slips. The officer openly admits that the footage will be used to identify the man, surveillance against someone who hasn't committed any crime. This clearly isn't about safety. It's about control. What was meant to sound like standard procedure ends up exposing the truth. The state is actively monitoring its own citizens. The irony is that he revealed it himself, right there on camera.
And that's why I'll talk to you. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to cause any issues.
Perfect.
You'll see me all about London because I'm trying to get as much footage.
Where are you from then, if you're not from around here?
We're from up north, but basically, we think this is quite bizarre. You know, like how, you know, just because of a select few that people have to be restricted like this. And I understand the king's been coronated and stuff, but it's just crazy how security just coming. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's like, why? We're not even doing anything. We're not doing any harm. I think when in regards to the wee situation, he has to go to the toilet, and they looked him up and down and went, definitely not. They sort of disrespected him by looking him up and down as if to say, you're not good enough to come in here, right? So that's got his back up. So
I can kind of appreciate that, but at the same
do you know what I mean?
they've got a job to do. Obviously, they don't work for us, we don't work for them.
Yeah.
I don't know what they've been told, what they haven't been told.
No. But can you imagine this, right? So I don't know your annual salary, right? Can you imagine out of your civvies, right? You go to somewhere and they're all swanky top of the range hotels, and you ask for something in a need of like emergency, like a wee or something, and they look you up and down just because it's a day like this, right? Can you imagine how disrespectful you?
I can appreciate that.
And that's all it was. That's why he's got his back up, and he made the joke in regards to saying, okay, I'll pee up against the wall. He has no intentions of doing that. Like.
No, but that does constitute a criminal offence. Threats to cause damage is a criminal offence.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's a new one to me. I didn't think that the saying I'm going to have a wee against the wall, I didn't think that could be criminal damage.
Yeah. So it's temporary or permanent damage. So temporary damage because someone's got to come out and clean it all down would constitute criminal damage.
Does it?
Even if you get chalk and draw on the pavement in chalk, criminal damage.
Yeah, that's a new one. I didn't know that. I was always on the understanding it comes under a different law. You know, like.
The wordplay continues as the officers claim he isn't being detained. Yet they surround him so closely that it's clear he has no real freedom to leave. Anyone watching can see this doesn't feel voluntary. It's a subtle form of detention disguised as a casual conversation. This is how authority operates in the gray areas, using body language, tone, and presence. to trap someone without ever admitting they're actually being held.
Exposing yourself in public space or whatever, you know.
Potentially, but essentially it's criminal damage.
But it was it wasn't in
his sort of attitude and demeanour. If this is what he's been like to security, I can understand why they would have got their back up a bit. I'm not saying that he did with them, but I can understand why they got their back up a bit and why they're a bit more heightened as to let him through and all that sort of stuff.
No, he didn't want to go through.
But I can understand why if he's acting like this. Yourself, you've been very calm and we've had a chat. But obviously he's been shouting at my colleague there and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, you're getting the whole through it.
When you're compliant with us and you talk to us, we're more than happy to have a chat with you and help you out. If you start screaming and shouting at us in the street like he's been doing my colleague, what do you expect us to do?
No, I know, but I've told you the reason why he's got his back up. You know,
I get it.
End of the day, he's seen the uniform of everything that he's heard about the Met, and you know, he's probably thinking, why are you coming to me? Like, you know, I just after just a chat with them, like, you know, I'm only going off what he's told me.
Sure.
So he just felt disrespected how they talked to him. But anyway, miss, like I say, I'm finished with my.
That's right.
But it'd be good for him to know that you know, as long as we're not trying to breach any barriers, that we're okay. As long as we're not blocking or causing a nuisance or anything like that. You know.
I think they're a bit more heightened here just because of this hotel, because it's where a lot of high-profile
dignitaries and stuff like that. Yeah, I get that, because they can see the registrations. You can tell they're
so
not.
I think that's why they're a little bit more heightened here. Some of the other roads they might be less so. They might be alright.
Yeah.
You're still going to get challenged. Don't get me wrong. You're still going to get.
I know. Well, that's what. But so we're probably going to have these conversations throughout the day now. But it's crazy. It's the world we're living in. Like a camera or the mirror of a questioner, can I use your toilet? I can understand them probably not letting him into the toilet because of who's in and out, but there's no need to look him up and down and go, probably not, like, you know. As you can tell, we're not suited and booted, you know what I mean?
And here's the moment that exposes everything. An officer tells the auditor they'll allow him to go. Think about that wording for a second. Since when do the police decide when a free citizen is allowed to leave? That single word, allow, reveals their true mindset. They don't view themselves as public servants, but as gatekeepers of freedom. The auditor picks up on it immediately, and his response lands like a knockout punch, perfectly calling out the arrogance behind that statement.
Anyway, miss, I'm gonna...
No worries. Have a good day. Hopefully it stops raining so you get some better footage.
Well, yeah, regardless, you can keep clearing the lens anyway.
I've been stood there for 15 minutes chatting with him, and then all of a sudden he goes over, grasses to the security, that I'm going to pee against the wall. Then pair of idiots come over, trying to move me. Sterile area, move. You know, you can't talk to members of the public like that when they're not doing nothing wrong.
Okay, and I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that, 100%.
So that's, my back is already up when you've arrived.
Yeah, but me coming over here, in any way when I approached you, I wasn't rude, I asked you what you were doing. No, and you've immediately gone to this
went on
level.
The back foot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I know what you're coming to do.
And now we're having a civilised conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we are.
Now we stay at this level.
Yeah.
And I ask you what is it you're doing here today?
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. I just need to know, because it's been raised to us, which is why I've come over here. My plan was to move you on, but if you stay at this level and stay over here, I have no issues with that.
Right.
Which is what I was going to say to you if you'd had a conversation with us.
So,
Instead, you went to this level.
Well, I'll ask another question.
Yeah.
You're saying I'm getting angry and aggressive. That's why you're moving me.
This is a sterile area.
Suddenly, sterile area.
This is a sterile area.
So I'm allowed to be angry and aggressive out there.
No, that's still a public order.
So why are you moving me on?
Pardon?
It's better to contain the situation.
You can go and stand there all you like, but they've asked us. They said this is a sterile area, so we're trying to keep.
The king was.
He's getting his crown.
Yeah, but the king is from all people, and all people you need to see photo. Remember, why it's closed?
You go down to Trafalgar Square.
But some people don't.
They're trying to keep this area here sterile.
All the way down that way. All the way down to
That's why we're getting pulled.
And then
because they reported us for taking pictures.
100%.
Yeah, but then I don't understand.
But we don't want to go past the barrier. We just stay on the road, right?
Yeah, I stay over there.
Yes, but they don't have
It's crazy.
From that side coming, the king.
Yeah, no, but the king, yeah, you won't even be here, so it's well protected.
I don't know who that is.
Over there I stay. I don't go to the road, no? Can I pass from here?
You won't be able to get past the barrier. But like
Can you just go over there?
Up into the barrier, yeah.
Yeah, still.
But they rung the police on us.
Well, no, I mean you. That's fine.
But
We've got nothing wrong. Don't.
but they're trying to keep this. I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
When you leave, I'm not here to stand. I'm not coming to London to stand hero.
No,
When
I
you go,
understand that.
when you go,
But they're trying to keep this area sterile.
we shall be on our way. When
Okay.
you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So if I come back in 10 minutes, you're still gonna be here, right?
Well, no.
You are.
We
I
won't.
see it on your face.
First of all, we got our footage, sir, honestly.
We're here.
You know,
to cover everything
Okay.
in London.
All right.
Yeah.
But then have a good day.
Sorry for we got off on the wrong
You
foot.
did, massively.
You know, we had a good conversation, miss. You know,
Just,
why
you
now.
are going to get challenged.
and we already have been.
Different
Yeah, you're going to get challenged.
You've got
What I
to
don't
understand
expect from is
that today's a
jump
massive day, massive
trying to tell me to
threat
move
levels
on
to
the
Yeah.
public street.
us. So
When I've
anyone
done
that's hanging
nothing wrong,
around
that's
that can
all.
maybe in the tiniest way
Just
suspicious.
take your
Yeah.
agenda. You're probably going to get
Nearby
challenged
events
here and
like
there.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
Probably
going to
are
come
going to
over
get
and
asked to
engage.
move
Yeah.
on. Okay?
But all we're asking for is that our law, that the laws that prevent
Now, you put us on the
that let us do
No,
certain
no,
activities
no.
don't get suppressed, because we can understand, you know, we're not protesters, we're not here to cause any anarchy, we're not here to cause any issues for you.
But at the same time, you have to appreciate there's a lot of protesters around. You know, people have already been arrested today for protesting and that sort of stuff because they've been trying to get onto the road to try and block the thing. So everything.
Anti-royal protester.
No, but this is where your time would be better spent on like people like, you know, who are actually, you know what I mean?
That. But if you're not raising concerns to these people, we have no reason to come over.
Yeah, but it was the initial with, you know, the toilet looking him up and down. If they hadn't have done that, like, you know, it probably wouldn't have got to that conversation with him.
Well, we'll leave you to it.
Alright, guys.
Obviously, please move on from the area.
Yeah, we got our
we're gonna
footage.
go
We
back
was
there.
going anyway, you know.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Back inside there where I'm supposed to be posted. Where I'm supposed to be
I
posted.
come from me.
Right. See you later.
See you later.
This entire exchange serves as a sharp reminder of how fragile the line between law and intimidation really is. The officers began with vague suspicion, tried to misuse counterterrorism powers without any valid grounds, and pressed for personal details they had no right to demand. When that didn't work, they attempted to have the footage deleted, only to later admit they'd use their own recordings to identify the man. The true mindset was finally exposed in a single line: "We can allow you to go." That small phrase revealed the deeper issue, the belief that a citizen's freedom is something granted by authority rather than a basic right. Yet the auditor stood firm, calm, lawful, and composed. That's the true strength of understanding your rights and asserting them with confidence. It's not loudness that wins, but clarity and persistence. And if you've ever questioned why filming matters, this moment gives you the answer. Cameras don't just observe the police, they uncover them. If this breakdown fired you up, make sure to subscribe for more and keep going. The next audit takes things even further, and you won't want to miss it.